And I'm just standing in aisle number 4, watching folks fight over bread like it's war. We're stocking up on milk and bread like the storm is gonna read our minds instead. Salt on the steps and prayers on the group text.
Who's got change? We'll see what's next.
But hey, take a breath, don't you worry, don't you squirm. We've been through these modern day ice storms. Yeah, it's slick and it's cold and it's loud on the phone, but it's gonna be okay, honey, we'll be home. There's a cart full of batteries, 2 cases of beans, and a man buying shovels like he's building machines. Someone's got a generator, someone's got a plan, someone's got 12 gallons, no one knows why, man. Every road becomes a legend by the end of the day. Bridges are ink take a long, long way, and we all act shocked like we just can't believe winter showed up in winter, what a twist to receive. Oh, we're stocking up on milk and bread like the storm is gonna read our minds instead. Salt on the steps and prayers on the group text.
Who's got change? We'll see what's next.
But hey, take a breath, don't you worry, don't you squirm. We've been through these modern day ice storms. Yeah, it's slick and it's cold and it's loud on the phone, but it's gonna be okay, honey, we'll be home. Put the soup on, pull the blanket up, laugh a little, fill your favorite cup. Check on your people, take it slow, let the trucks do their salty tango. And if you gotta slide, slide with style, white knuckle grin and a stubborn smile. Yeah, we're stocking up on milk and bread, 'cause tradition is tradition in our anxious little heads. Plans on the fridge and memes in the chat.
And good morning for January the 22nd, Thursday. We're just a couple days away from everything supposed to get crazy and dicey when it comes to this weather here in the region. And that region being from the 72601 to the 65616 and literally like the entire state of Arkansas. And so I don't know, but we're gonna keep an eye on this, and I recommend that for any and everyone in the region, or for those who are just curious, in the YouTube comments, you're also going to see a link that you need in your life, and that will be StormTrack 360, which I'm also going to put the website. Let me get that in there. Good morning there, fellas. Yeah, so there was a little bit of a glitch I didn't turn the mic on, so I was like, you know what, we're just going to start all over again and do it proper. But yeah, so because that was craziness. All right, so now this is kind of a long link, but this is also the direct website link to my pals. What are you doing? Okay, it went, I guess. But I understand that the links don't work. Copy paste them into your browser, and they're important. So, good morning, everybody. It has been quite the week. Apologies for being kind of out of pocket the past few days. Been busy with good stuff. Let's see, Monday we did a show. It was great. Tuesday, gosh, I don't remember what happened Tuesday, but it was kind of a weird loose farming day by the archons who control everything. Do what you will with the info. And then yesterday, I had a thing. I had to go up to Branson and talk to some folks, and it was a very, very, very good day. It was a great conversation. Don't know what's coming next, but I'll tell you as soon as I can. So anyway, so there's all that. Yeah, all right. So anyway, everybody's here. Everything is live. We're all doing great. Did that go? Why is it not? Oh, good. I am glad to hear. I'd love to see all the stuff that you got, Gar. And here, you'll kind of dig this. Another thing that I did last night, because I actually went to bed early, got up, not early, but not late. So it's been a good, productive morning. And something else to share with you. But I'll do that here in a second. First, why are you oh, it's the characters are too long, I see. I'll come back to that. But anyway, what else? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So this is coffee time. That's all. Just loose, having a good time, having some fun. But make a note, spread the word. Coming up Tuesday, February 3rd, 8 p.m., going to be hosting a live debate online with U.S. Senate candidates Micah Ashby and Jeb Little, who are going for the seat of current Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton. I'm going to be putting the invitation out to Senator Cotton's office today, and I'd like to have all three of them doing this debate. But we'll see. I don't know. But I do know that Micah and Jeb are locked in and looking very forward to hearing their perspective, because, again, one way or the other, staying totally non-biased in this. However, the only thing I will say is I am a big proponent of term limits. I don't believe any elected official should serve more than 2 terms. I just don't. I think it's in everyone's best interest for folks to get the fresh perspective, because from what I've observed, is once, especially on the federal level, once you send someone to either the House or the Senate, after a couple years, they're really completely detached from what's happening in the state and locally. That's just how I've seen it. And they become part of a machine that doesn't do its job properly, meaning if you're supposed to represent the people, sure, you may have people here in an office, but it's not the same. So I think 2 years is fair. I mean, it's for anything. Got minis in a Risk Legacy game. That's pretty cool. That's right, Gar. What did you get me for Christmas? That is something I'll put out there, because that's actually a very fair question. It's like Christmas for a lot of folks was not as Christmassy as it was. And it is the job inside of our legislative branch to handle a lot of those things, to see what's going on. Of course, everybody is hanging their hat on the executive branch more so than the judicial and the legislative, when it's a three-headed circus. Don't forget that. And that's how it works. Yeah, see, I'm there, man. It's like, are you and I, we're on the same boat. Like I say 2 terms, but you're right. I mean, 1 term, 4 years, that's a really good run to get things accomplished. And if everyone is on that same page, as far as all states, 1 term for all of them, 4 years, that's plenty, more than plenty. Period. If it was anything, I would say that 4 years in the House of Representatives, 2 years in the Senate. That's just me. But I don't know. I was just kind of mucking it up. So if we just kept it at even 4 years, it's good. Anyway, okay. Barring the fun little morning hiccup of me not turning on the microphone, but I was able to just snatch that thing out of the ether and move on. But here's something fun I found, and I am going to pull this up because I want to walk you guys through another process-ish. It's a lightweight one, though, don't worry. In the world of 3D printing, that again, I am always amazed. And since we do have the potential weather and getting everything, hopefully everything power stays on, the roads, if it comes like it is, are going to be a mess. Stay home. So along with getting everything ready for your critters and food for the family and water and all those other provisions, that just in case you can't get out for a few days or longer, because again, if this thing hits like they're projecting, the biggest thing and the biggest trick of all is that it, stay home. Stay home. I know a lot of folks do the looky loo, I got to get out there. Do you though? Do you? Now, there are some people who absolutely positively do have to get out there, and it's much appreciated when they get out there and they do the things. Let me open that one, and I'm going to open this one. That's how that looks. Okay, now, we'll talk more about that, however, in a little bit, as far as getting you guys' takes on what you do to get prepared for the winter weathery stuff. But I like to also make sure that things are to keep yourselves entertained. I've got books. I love to read books, and that's what they're there for. Because if the power goes out, you can't read this, right? Your phone's great. Make sure, now that is a thing. Always be sure for like any of the little power packs that you have, the little chargeables, start charging them today and make sure they're good, because we live in the future that allows for all of that battery power backup. So that's awesome. If you have a generator at home, cool. If you don't, that's okay. You'll work it out. We'll all work it out. But again, provisions. But now let's just take a break from all the seriousness that I don't apparently take it seriously, but I do. But I also know that I've got folks, and I'll start over here. Again, I'll start over here with make the note. If you are here in the 16 county area and all of Arkansas, really, stormtrack360.com, everything go well, everything go good. As far as on Brandon's end, because you never know what's going to happen with power, but he's going to be on top of things. Now, they've been going through moving the studio and stuff like that, but do know that he will be there. Let me get rid of that. Okay, now, all of that out of the way. Looking at 3 Monday morning report. Yeah, see, the thawing on Tuesday thing, I don't much care for that, because that's when it really gets ugly, because when it all falls, okay, fine, stay home. But the cleanup process is where it always gets funky, because if it is a lot, then the thawing, if it doesn't do it fast enough, which I don't know what the models are saying or temperature-wise, but it's like I don't know. It's one of those things to where well, I had an idea flash and kind of just blocked me. But anyway, if the temperatures don't just jump all the way up and stay up, then we just get layer after layer after layer of ice, even as it goes down, and that's the part I really don't like. So anyway, but animal preparedness, that's the thing. Like I say, I'm going to be, as soon as I get off the air today, I've got to get everything worked out for our two roosters. Yes, we have two roosters. Not a hen and a rooster. Not a rooster and a bunch of hens making eggs or what. No, we don't do that here. Alicia has two roosters. They're brothers. Watch yourself. But anyway, but they're brothers. We've had them since they were hatched and babies, and we wound up with two roosters. So most they do is get fat and occasionally peck at each other, but in a truly brotherly way. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. But anyway, so we're doing that. But okay, all right, fellas. Yeah, prepping for fun stuff to keep yourself occupied. Like I say, books are always awesome. If you are still online, and I put together that AI version of me narrating my book on YouTube in the playlist. You can find that. One, I like getting the message out. Two, I liked seeing exactly how far that tech would go with minimal effort. I didn't like go all in on like really fine tuning my voice and delivery and stuff like that. There's one particular word. Here's an Easter egg and a rabbit hole to dig down. One particular word that the toy collecting community are going to hear and cringe terribly because AI me mispronounces it. And it's a mispronunciation that most folks not inside of the collector's world make all the time. And I just thought it was funny for me to leave it in there. So I don't know, I thought it was fun. Anyway, so now back to what I was talking about, getting prepped up, because I haven't, it was funny, 2009, that particular ice storm that came through, and a lot of folks were freaking out, and where I was, and I was living in the lower level of a split level house, right? And we had a great time. We did. It's like we had the barbecue grill going so we could cook outside. Tried to make coffee with it. Wasn't the greatest idea because of the smokiness of it all. But we had a lot of fun, and I had a lot of like the just spare parts for like like Mego action figures and everything. So I was just working on customs, and I made a couple. One being one that I had made of Alicia at the time, and that was early on in our days. So she knew what she was getting into because I made that during an ice storm. Well, there you go. But we had a lot of fun. So no, I didn't make it then. I made a Captain America then. That's right. Anyway, dig this, fellas. Now I have been on the search and the hunt and the watch and the work on designing stuff myself when it comes to like making what the industry calls, that I learned this term not terribly long ago, a buck body. Before it could just be a spare of something else. But I wanted to have access to be able to make one on demand whenever I wanted to, right? So last night, in surfing around Maker Labs and Maker World over with Bamboo Studios platform, and voila, this guy right here. This, I tell you, friends, it was very impressive to me. I'm like, this is pretty cool. So you can check him out. Like I say, just for a blank buck body to start with is very much impressive. Print time runs, I'll just call it 7 hours. It's a little bit less than that. But there we go. But yeah, it prints out really nice. There are all the parts and such, and not overly complex in that, which is nice. It's got good points of articulations, how it lays out on the plate. And this guy is a great designer, really and truly. And so before I show you the other version that he did, I'm going to like this because participating with folks is important. And then on Maker Labs, you can do a thing, you can boost. You're giving them a tip, right? And every month you wind up with stuff. And so I'm going to boost this model and just give a nice compliment. Fantastic model. And most certainly, boost or two, which is coming next. Now you can only boost a model twice for whatever reason. Fix my little typo there because I do know how to do it and I don't have to always. All right, so I'm gonna post that. Then I'm gonna boost it again, See? The second boost. Again, bravo. But again, this is a fantastic community to get involved with, even if you're not printing right now, just to go and start learning and seeing what all's out there. It's really cool. Again, bravo. There we go. And next. There we go. So we did that. Now, another version that he just recently did at the beginning of the year, where we get into more of the muscular structure of things. So if you're working on something, again, this is great for art stuff. And just kind of, there we go. So anyway, the muscular stuff, that's just, I don't need that. I almost printed that one, but when I realized how it's just a muscular thing, I'm like, it's not my thing. Still pretty cool though. Now, okay, so let's get back over here to the reveal. So last night, and it's only, like I say, it prints in less than 7 hours, which is really amazing. And it comes out in a 12-inch scale, and it printed perfectly. There was one issue, but it was on my end, had nothing to do with the model. At the hips here, it did a little stringing there at the bottom, so that one particular ball joint got jacked up. So I needed to reprint it, and hence why I did it in red here, just so he looks like he's got the boxer briefs on, and just kind of give it a little breakup. But it works great. I mean, it's very tight joints, very tight, which is cool. Because again, this is, like I said, a lot of the designer's motivation here was to, again, give like the artist mannequins. And I find that fantastic because, again, it's right there. It's printed. It's awesome. And I think it's great. Yeah, very, 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 very impressive. So I haven't played with it a whole lot. The articulation is not like super duper Marvel stuff on the shelves right now, but that's not, I don't care. I've got something to start out with and work with. The next test, see, shit, oops, not broken, just the way the joints work. Nice and easy peasy, kids. That's funny. Well, imagine if this was like an actual product demo for something, and then they just went all flying to pieces right there live. Be like, I'm a guy. But no. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, the card ones, the wood ones are great. And I really like having, I love having it's like a freedom as a collector. It's just like total freedom to be able to just go, I need that now. Because if you guys remember, if you were into customizing back in the day, 20 years ago, before all this stuff, but it was like you go, if you were out in the wild and you found some stuff like parts bins that you could pick up, or when eBay came along and being able to pick up the bits and pieces until everybody was firmly convinced that all of their junk was now worth a lot more money than it actually was. It was just cool to be able to accumulate stuff and build things. So anyway, I'm a little just raw. Yesterday was a very, very good, wonderful, high energy, high vibe, happy day. And it was much needed because earlier it wasn't. It was a rough week. And it was one of those things to where guard your mind. Again, Stephen Pressfield named it so well in calling that voice that ain't yours, that shows up in your head. I'm not schizophrenic, but that shows up in your head and tells you focuses you in on all the negative, the fear, the loosh, if you will. Resistance is what he named it, which is great because once you can name the enemy, then you can tame the enemy. And I've dug a little bit deeper into that whole line of thought. And I tell you what, Tuesday was a very, very, very loosh heavy day when it comes to that resistance fighting everything for no logical reason whatsoever. That's how you know. Because once you've got your focus in on what you're doing, who you are, and how you are, and you're being constructive and productive every single day, and then all of a sudden, the darkest, horrible thoughts come into your mind. Not just to hold you back a little, but try to hold you back a whole lot. And I knew damn good and well that didn't come from my brain bucket because I'm very proud of the fantastic job I've done in reframing my own brain. And yeah. It's one of those things. So I wish I could paintball the enemy, but again, it's just something inside. You would be like just using a paintball gun in your own face. And that would not be fun. Nope. Let me go ahead and see these share links. Let's see if I can get a shorter link. Because, now here's a link to that body. Okay, good, it went through. Awesome. Let's see back over here at stormtrack360.com. I wonder if I can copy link address. I want you guys to get plugged in with Stormtrack 360. Nope. Brandon, you need a short link, buddy. I can't share that link. Darn it, dang it. So anyway, a little note there. What else is going over here in Facebook land? Yeah, and I had some fun with the first official hey, I wonder, well, I've invited everybody over from the Facebook land. Put the link, which of course, whenever you do that, it just disappears. Because I know yesterday when I did the live thing with the milk sandwich report for 2026, that responded properly. Facebook likes it when you do stuff like that because people will stay on their platform for all the fun, merriment, and entertainment that you bring their audience. Which is fine, I get it. It's just annoying. Oh, good, the link worked. Awesome. Cool. Yep. So anyway, it's been quite a great week. Really good. Today I've got winter storm prep to do. It is Thursday. Nothing's supposed to start until Saturday. Let me get back to that forecast. Oh, let's see here. Here I go. I like using the robots for these. Well, the Gemini robot from Google. Give me the. Here, I'll let you watch me type. It's fun. Give me the breakdown of the forecast for 72601 from now through Monday. Because again, this is Google, so it's like this AI is just in this stage right here, it's just a super fantastic search engine because it just piles it all up right here. All right, so now what are we looking at here? Okay, so today it's just cloudy, looking to get to a high of 47, no problem. Tomorrow is when everything's supposed to kick off, right? Saturday, just write it off. Sunday is just going to continue to poke us. Let's see. All right, Friday night is when it's supposed to kick in. So, okay, guys, now I want to say this, and this is for anyone who happens to be listening locally. You have time today. Make a list of what you need. Go do it. Now, I also understand what I was going to say earlier is I understand you may have not gotten paid yet to get money to go trade for things you need. But in that event, which is very common to all of us, okay, it's just be careful, okay? People are already driving like yesterday when I went to Branson. And if you've never drove 65 North, for anybody who's not from around here, when you're driving 65 North, once you get out of Harrison and everything, it is a wonderful 4-lane, right? 2 going north, 2 going south. It's great. The Arkansas Highway and Transportation Department did a great job. However, I'm trying to remember exactly I'd already made it into Missouri. And at some point, someone in the left-hand lane, the passing lane, decided they were going to do 35 miles an hour, apparently. And now everybody was cooking along, and now I was going to go past the car in front of me because they were, oh my God, people totally forgot how to drive, I guess. And there weren't that many cars on the road. Anyway, so I go get in the passing lane. I'm just kind of cruising along, no big deal. And then all of a sudden I see the car in front of me. He's still far enough up, but he's slowing down, not using his brakes, mind you, just getting closer faster. And I'm like, oh, so I back off. But yeah, there's like 4 cars long, one in the front. It's doing 35 miles an hour in the left-hand lane on the highway. What the hell is wrong with you? Right? And so I get back over, everything's cool, I'm cooking it. But then they all sped up. I'm like, what the hell is this? And it's not like there was a turn-off point or anything. I don't know. But just be super careful out there, folks. Yeah, see, there you go. So the eggs bread are, so there's the local report, everything being wiped out already, which is fine. I mean, it's what people do. But yeah, I'm going to run something by you, okay? I'm going to kind of put a little, maybe. Okay, now here's the situation. At the beginning of the week, I never trust the models ever. I don't care what it says, doesn't matter, it's too far out. And I don't care, it's always been that way. Now, that said, now we're past the Monday, we're in all the way to Thursday. This thing is like 24, 48 hours out now. But there was a lot of confusion between the models. Why would there be confusion between the models? I don't know. Not a satellite engineer, not a full-time meteorologist who does this all the time. However, earlier this week, Tuesday, was it? Yeah, it was Tuesday. The Earth was once again hit with a big solar storm from that thing we call the sun, right? And it was another one of those big super duper ones. However, now the last time that happened here, the whole aurora lights and everything, you could see them like, wow, it was pretty cool to see the northern lights way down here. I didn't see that Tuesday. No one's posted about that. Not a bit. Not a bit. None at all. And this was supposed to be another one of those super solar storms. Didn't see anything like that. Did it happen? I don't know. But I know I didn't see it this time in the way in which we saw it before. And nobody was talking about it online that I saw. So, all that said, in the event that that did happen, could it not be possible that those models, the data and everything that is collected by satellites and everything else that they use, could it have gotten just jacked up by that solar storm? I don't know. I am not that tech guy. I don't know, but I'm just putting it out there because, again, this is one of those crazy supercell scare the hell out of everybody situations, which I know, and I'm not saying that is what happened. I'm just saying there's a potentiality that what if that solar storm jacked up all the data? Maybe. I don't know, but just something to think about. I hope I'm right, actually, that I would rather see that be the case, that just the models are screwed up and what really happens isn't that because of bad data, misinformation, disinformation, versus people actually getting pounded. Which, on that note too, don't forget, we've been through these things before. This isn't the first time. So when people really see it as the end of everything and, oh my God, it's going to, you know what? If it happens, it happens. You're not going to stop it. So, but just get yourself prepared for it, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, the whole 9 yards. Oh yeah, man, I'm telling you, Gary, that traffic thing was just. But we have had. I don't know what it's like down there, but I know over the span of just the past month, the rate of horrible wrecks and fatalities on the highways around here are higher than I've ever seen. Ever, ever. There is like there are new records being set with the level of calamities on the highway now. And I don't understand why. I mean, it's like things happen, humans do stupid stuff, but the truth of the matter is that it makes no sense. People are absolutely, completely disregarding any kind of like common sense of the road. And that is just so incredibly weird to me because it's like I mean, it's almost like a virus, if you will, the way people are acting on the roads. Never seen anything like it. It's just nuts. Pretty sure Damien can give you some of the updates there too. Yeah. Yeah, well, saying that's the thing too. It's like I do believe I was in Missouri when I get to that part. But again, getting out of town, it's like the way people drive now. I don't get it. I mean, they're really just not good at it at all. And I'm talking a lot of people. They're not good at it. It's weird. I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, it's been nuts. Well, and that was another thing too. Here's an interesting story because as I was getting ready to go yesterday morning, and Alicia got up and she was just kind of checking things because it had rained where there was no calling for rain prior to anything, right? Got up yesterday morning and saw that it had rained. And it's like, okay, well, that's interesting. So Alicia, anyway, there was reports of like a four different accidents that were, well, Alicia read it wrong, but from Bear Creek and Highway 160, and the way that was, but the way it looked as it was presented on the Facebook, it looked like it was Bear Creek Springs here, but it wasn't. It was actually Bear Creek, which is closer to Merriam Woods up in Missouri. But they had black ice. But here's the kicker, kids. It wasn't below freezing. And it hasn't been that cold for that long. Anyway, so that did happen. So there was black ice without freezing conditions. That is peculiar. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, but once we clarified that it wasn't here, she calmed down. And honestly, it was a beautiful day. It was like, as I got closer and closer to the Missouri line, the sun started coming out. And by the time I got into Missouri, it was like the roads were completely clear. The sun was shining, blue sky. It was amazing. Amazing. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't know, things are just weird. Well, that's the thing, Gar. It wasn't just Missouri. Arkansas is in just a really bad shape with the whole thing too. It really is. I don't get it. But I don't know, guys. It's like I said, it's been quite the week. Interesting times, so on and so forth. Again, very good times. Hopefully, I can tell you more about it later, or I'll eventually tell you about it. But right now, everything's up in the air, so I'm just not at liberty to say. But I'm pretty excited about the possibilities. Um, but again, the I'm really on my end, the three pillars of my life that I control. I'm really happy with things because again, to use the AI voice clone, which still just blows me away that that's even a thing, and it is a handy tool. It really, really is. I wouldn't want to use it and put it forward as okay, this stuff that you're hearing is me. I wouldn't want to do that because it's good. It sounds a whole lot like me. The delivery has gotten a lot better, but it's not my delivery. I mean, it's getting closer, but it ain't me. It doesn't have even in that controlled studio environment when you're just reading the script, there's still some nuances of my delivery that it just can't capture. And I don't, I could probably like text it to direct it a little bit better, but still not quite right. And I don't know. I don't think it'll be there. Plus, that's another thing that shows about this AI technology is that it's good. It can do it. It's a very resourceful thing, but it is worthless without a human behind it. And it's double worthless if the human behind it isn't fine tuning the prompts and such, which you can do. So anyway, but it's like the human element as of this point is still necessary to make these things work. However, they are really cool pieces of cybernetic technology to make your work flow faster in many areas. Because again, the ability to like just kind of brain dump, an idea or things you need to do, and then have that turn it into like a readable functional text in your voice for like an email or a blog post or something like that. That's that's good. I like that. It saves so much time because there's like here's the thing. It's like there's like different types of writing. You've got the day to day mundane. It still needs to be good, but you're not writing. Does that make sense? Because I can use it like brain dump things out, have it clean it up, and put it into various forms that I can use where I need it for emails, social posts, whatever. But now if I'm writing, that's different. There's still a personal organic thing happening there in that creation process that will always need the human touch. On the other side of that though, is once you're done, is you can take that you wrote and then have it go through, do some grammar checks where need be and all of that. And that's awesome. It's cool to have that type of auto editor there. What else we got going on here? All right, getting caught up with you guys. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, yeah, Gar, you've got to get Damien pictures of frozen iguanas. Oh my lord, he's fiending for them. It's crazy. Wow, a new treadmill for $1,000. How much was that? Wow, $1,000. You're serious about getting nowhere fast? Just playing. Um, dun, 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 doo-doo-doo. There we go. Well, that's awesome, though. I mean, and again, it's like we all just and joke about all kinds of things, which you should because life is too short not to have a sense of humor. But yeah, well, good on you, Guard, because again, it's like, and that's one of the things. It's like if you're one of the probably 5 humans on the planet, especially in the U.S., that actually uses your treadmill for more than a clothes hanger, you, kind sir, are a hero, and I respect that a lot. Seriously. But anyway, where are we? It's 8:41. Alibaba reported something. What is this? You ever actually pay attention to the little notifications that Microsoft has? What Alibaba reportedly lining up AI chip IPO after wave of Chinese offerings. See, and that's the real war front. You know what I'm saying? That really is. This is where the wars are raging. It's all economic and it's all technological, and it's going to be interesting. And again, shout out to the President of the United States yesterday, because if you are, um, I'll just call it like that. If you're inside of the conspiracy circles and everything, and it's not really conspiracy. I mean, it's just a fact. The World Economic Forum and that group's Now, it's supposed to be an organized collective of everybody working together nicely. But their agendas, which are real, you can look them up, they're real deals. Um, but their mission and goals and everything are coming from things that don't really align with like what we are to be as Americans. Um, Many American presidents have went along with it and played the globalization game. But our president right now is kind of setting his foot back down, kind of going back to that again, that John Wayne cowboy era of America. If you haven't taken the time to watch President Trump's address to the World Economic Forum yesterday, you're missing out, because I'm telling you, if you remember America as I remember America back in the 20th century, when we were the John Wayne apple pie, here we go. Man, Donald Trump absolutely knocked it out of the park. I don't care what your politics are. And if you're offended by what he said, if you're an American and offended by what Donald Trump told those folks, you're batting for the wrong team. You just are, because that was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. To have someone in the modern age where people, pardon my French, but I mean, when people are so chicken shit to actually say something to someone, and that's one thing about Trump, he's not. And I don't care whether you believe him or you don't believe him, that's irrelevant. He's willing to get there and look you eyeball to eyeball and call somebody out. It's like the way he called out the Canadian Prime Minister. Wow. That's as American as you could possibly get. Oh, you might want to think about this before you talk trash about me again, Canada and the U.S., because he's not making it about him. It's about the way in which they hang. That's the thing that is interesting. I've never seen this before, where the personality, the cult of personality of Trump, is what they're hanging everything on. He's like the hat rack for everything that happens in America now. He is the John Wayne, right? And it's just weird to me that there it is. It's like he's being, and he himself is just as responsible for it as being the ultimate example and scapegoat. So if something doesn't work, it's his fault. But if it does work, well, he'll say it's his, he did it. But then everybody else will say, see what we did? You know what I'm saying? It's just weird. I've never seen it so heavy in that direction. But again, the Davos thing yesterday, that was gold. I mean, that really was. That was just pure gold as far as I'm concerned. I enjoyed every moment of it. So if you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor, check it out. Again, because throw the politics away and just understand this is the United States showing up at a world gathering of people who have a mindset and an agenda that is a real agenda. Their plans are all listed on the website, and they don't really line up with the American credo that we were grown up on. And the president of the United States said, nah, no, and calling people out by name. There's just so much bravado in that's missing from our society today. Me even saying that will just get, I know some people get bent out of shape, but I don't care. The truth is the truth. Sometimes you got to call it out. If it's not in your best interest, or if it's not the truth as you understand it, call it out. And if you need to fix it, you'll fix it. It's like readjust, whatever. I don't know. I just find it fascinating and fantastic, the world in which we live, because it's all one big show. It is. And that's like network television, where you've got to focus and I got to focus on our local television. Even though I'm not on local television or doing anything with local television anymore, I still feel that way. We got to focus on us and keep an eye on the big boys, see what they're doing, because it could be interesting. But for the most part, the show kind of sucks. But every now and then they have a couple highlights. Yesterday's Davos thing, to me, was a highlight because, man, it was funny. It just was. You just can't make it up. And never forget, our current president was a television star. Yep, it just cracks me up. It does. So anyway, 8:56. What are you guys doing right now? Yeah, I don't know. It's just again, it's been a fun day. It's been a cool day. Going to be a great day. Again, I just want to get everything prepped up on my end for the wintry weather. Oh yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like when it comes to like the Greenland thing, because I followed along with it a little bit, and quite frankly, Donald Trump's presentation to all of the world leaders that were there at the World Economic Forum, his point was very well made. What was funny, and I don't know if you guys saw this, because this is information that's a little bit harder to get, but if you saw what Vladimir Putin said in response, Oh my God, I almost fell out of my chair laughing so hard because, and of course, they're going to say that now they're all in cahoots again and all that nonsense. But I tell you, the Putin's response to what Trump had said there at Davos, it was just so funny because, again, I'm not pro Russia. I'm not pro Ukraine. I'm not pro anybody other than the United States of America because this is my ship and I don't want it to sink. But it was funny. He was like, yep, they're going to do what he says because he's saying it. And it's just true. You know, it's like even when Vladimir Putin says it's a security concern for the United States of America to get Greenland. And he's the one, Russia and China are the ones that Trump is saying, we need this before they get that. And so, and even when Putin says, yeah, that's a good idea. You should probably get that. And I love how, and I think the reason that we see like Putin be, I don't want to say supportive of Donald Trump, but at the same time, the methods in which he uses is because it's a bravado inside of the alpha male types that, you know what, people talk about, if it wasn't for toxic masculinity, we would not have the things we have because we need that primal male thing that we are, gentlemen, no matter how sensitive we can be these days, but it's still the hunter-gatherer thing, right? So I don't know. It was fun though. It's just like if you can get a look at it, I know if you go like on X, aka Twitter, one of these days that's going to just turn into something. But just calling it X is just weird. But I know I've seen some clips from RT, which I still now this is something I think is absolutely disgusting in the United States of America. That RT, you know, Russia Today, their CNN, if you will, you can't get it. Well, you can still get it on the web for the most part, but you can't download the app onto your phone, and that just torques me off. It's like you cannot have a civilized society if information is getting cut off. Okay, I don't care if it's Russian propaganda. It doesn't matter to me. I'm a big boy. I can discern what is propaganda and what is just straight the perspective, right? But to have it to where, because here's where it really torqued me off. First off, whenever when I'd gotten my new phone a few years back, and I went to download, match it all up, it wouldn't, the RT app was no longer in the app store. I'm like, well, that's not cool. I don't like that. But my old phone still had it on. So I still had access to it through my old phone. So I could check RT on there, see what was being said or not said and so on. And I'll be honest with you, the majority of stuff that I saw them reporting on and the stories that I was getting through that feed, there was nothing that, I mean, sure, there's that lean towards the Russia stuff, you know, because it's Russia, and so they're going to like root for their team. But it was nothing overly propagandized. I mean, it really wasn't. But just, and so for years now, I've had the RT app still on my old phone. But with this latest update that Apple rolled out, I went to just go check it, and nope. So they took it off of my phone. That's not cool. Okay, not in the United States of America. If you want to do it in other places, knock yourself out. But where we have a First Amendment, that's kind of a violation in there, I would say. I'm just saying. And I'm not, I think that's censorship on any forms of information is terrible. Even if you say things I don't like, you still have a right to say them. That's just the thing. And so and plus once you start there, where does it stop? Where does it stop? And I'm still kind of dumbfounded that Russia is our boogeyman again. Because once the Soviet Union fell, the biggest threat that came from over in that block was gone. I don't know, but they got to have a boogeyman. And China is one of those things. It's like, if China is the big boogeyman, that's actually, I'm no politician, world leader, or overall just genius in it. But if you're serious about them being our problem, then shut it off completely. 100% isolationism. Cancel all the bonds that they've purchased. You know, confiscate all the land that was bought here, which I'm still surprised with because now you fellows have been around long enough and probably learned from the same books I did. But from what I understand, foreign nations couldn't purchase land and foreign nationals couldn't purchase land in the United States of America. That was my understanding. But now apparently you can't. You can still get on the Androids. Okay, cool. I know with the iPhone you cannot. So anyway, but I am curious about that. But now that's what I grew up with the understanding of, is that foreign nationals could not purchase land in the United States of America. But now it's all over the place. And that to me is odd. I don't know. It's weird. But I don't know. But anywho, what else we got? 8:52. It's a Thursday morning. We're getting ready for the potential of a winter. But wouldn't it be interesting? Would it not be interesting with these super severe weather systems, the models, not actually watching it happen, the models, actually because the data got corrupted because of a solar storm? Because I would think it's possible, because I know the solar storms, when they do hit, they've always, it's like, well, during certain seasons, I know like satellite transmissions into like television stations have always been a thing. You got your black spots or your blackout spots. So that's always been a thing. But I don't know. But wouldn't it be weird if everybody's running with this information that is corrupted data because of the solar storms on the weather satellites and such? I don't know. But I'm not saying it's not going to happen. Please do take all precautions. Use your head. Don't listen to just some old disc jockey on the internet. But it's just a thought. That's all. But what if those models weren't jacked up because of the solar radiation? Yeah. Da, 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 da. Man, I'm telling you, 3D printing, again, I will continually, I'm not going to tell you guys to do it or not to do it, but seriously consider it. Because again, this is just one aspect from if you're a toy collector, you're a designer, you've ever thought about doing this type of stuff, dude, you're Santa's workshop. It's amazing. It really is, let alone the functional things. Now here, I'll have some fun with you on this one, because you learn, I'm learning every day of what's possible now. All right, so now like right here, right? It's a circle, right? Well, more importantly than that, it's actually a Lazy Susan. So you could use this part for other parts of things, for like displays or whatever else. But the thing that's like really made me go, oh, okay, here we go, is that, and of course you can't see it, right? Let me see if I'm not going to pop it apart. Inside of here, though, is actually a ball bearing ring. A ball bearing ring, print in place. Now, it's all the same plastic. So, it's like you're not talking about high endurance stuff to go on your lawnmower or whatever. But you can print in place a ball bearing ring. Bro, to me, that is huge, because like this right here, the ability to do just this right here for like design of any kind, but I'm gonna keep it to toy design. It's like, if you think about like with Mego's Star Trek transporter playset thing, where they had a little knob thing where you could turn and beam them down or whatever. This right here puts in the opportunity to create some really neat stuff. One piece of a cog, but a functional cog. And again, the ability to print a ball bearing ring out of PLA plastic, as many as you need. That's just fascinating to me. It just is. And the potential is just limitless. Yeah, printing the Eternals. And then, and again, if you go back over, let me take you back over there because I want you guys to see this. Okay, here we go. All right, one more run. All right, so now when you go to Maker World, so you go to makerworld.com, and I'm going to go link crazy in the comments, because why not? Yep, totally scalable Lazy Susan. Now, how well that'll work if you scale down, I don't know for sure. I'm going to test it out. But anyway, so makerworld.com, and then you come up here to Maker Lab. Maker Lab is, I mean, all the models and stuff that people are designing is amazing. But once again, I'm going to put this link in here to Maker Lab, because here is where a lot of things have already been built and ready to go. All right, so you can like make a light box, and then I've showed you the thing with the figures, other fun stuff. The Flexi thing, that's a little gimpy to me. I don't really like it. The relief stuff, this is pretty cool. I printed a couple of those, one family, because you just take a picture, put it in here, and then it'll pull out what would be the relief, And it's really cool. Actually, I made one just the other day for my mother-in-law's birthday for part of the cake topper thing that I built. And so that was really cool and fun. But anyway, so those are just like the top ones that are like, ooh, this will grab people. They'll come play. And I have. And you will too. if you give it a shot. But again, you can see all the different categories, right? The things that are already there built, like an image to a 3D model, and it's just fascinating. But now, okay, now scroll down to the bottom of the page with me. Come on, kids. The parametric models. This is where, like, this is like the gift to the world that they have put together here, because as you can see, you've got all of these things here, from a stencil generator, stacking box, the magic text illusion. There's so many neat, awesome, incredible stuff. I didn't even know they had the parametric dice maker. Gosh, that's awesome. I'm gonna open that up. So inside of here, so, and as I'm sure you're pretty familiar, now how well will it work? Don't know until I get there, until I actually try it. But yeah, so you can like customize these things, right? Well, there you go. That's polite. But anyway, the ability to, the template's already there. So now you're just going in and filling in the holes. So, and that also, here's the thing, that offers so much opportunity. And okay, because I've thought about this for a while now and kind of play with it. Now let's think about this. Let's brainstorm what you could do with these dice, right? So you can customize the fronts, which you could always do, but this just made it a lot faster. Someone built a template that you could just fill in. Okay, now this is what I think would be cool. Now locally, we have the food truck court called Fender Vendors. My buddy Joey, he started it up, been quite a while now. But anyway, now how cool would it be for a place like Fender Vendors to take one of these dice, put all of their food trucks that are on the court right now, and then turn that into just a fun little marketing piece, merch, that that you could like put the names again of the food trucks on there, and then that way, it's a fun game. Have one in every office in town. As far as like, where you want to eat today? I don't know. We go over to Fender Vendors. We should go to Fender Vendors. Well, what should we get over there? There's 3 different trucks to choose from. Roll the dice, bang. And so, since there's only 3, and you've got all 6 sides you got to work with, I think it will be fun to have the name of each one of those places, and then have like a Fender Vendor logo on one side, and then maybe a phone number or a website, or you could even embed a QR code on these things. It's limitless, guys. I'm telling you, it's like, it's one of those things that drives me nuts. Maybe it's just my head and how it works. I don't know. But I see this stuff and I see so much potential in everything that you could do. I mean, it's just crazy to me. So, but I'm gonna try that out, because again, it's like, turn all of your decisions into the hands of fate. And I'm curious. So let's go back over here and look real quick. Now, this is pretty cool, because right here, it should give us the opportunity to, like, line by line. Again, they built the template. They built the system right there. Per line scaling, independent font control, dual line logic. See, and it's already there. So you just fill in the holes and go for it. Dude, how awesome is this world in which we live? I just love it, because there's so much stuff. Oh, then you got like over here, again, it's like the hardest thing in the world for me is there's just so many options and opportunities and creative sparks that can get lit up. Prescription eye, that's probably not terribly far off, honestly, because to be able to print things like prescription eyewear, it's not far off. I just know it's not, because now, while this FDM printers, as you say, they feed the filament and everything, but a resin printer could very well be able to handle that. It will, though. That's the thing. It will, because now that you said it, somebody's going to think about it and somebody's going to do it. You might be the one to do it, because the main thing it would just need to be is to be able to print to where it's completely clear. And there are some folks who have like tweaked like the PET G filament, the PETG filament. That's a more dense, stronger, and there is a clear. Now, I played with the settings, not with the greatest results, but like when I printed, oh shit, sorry, let me come over here. But like when I printed the windshield for this Kenner land speeder model, so it's still cloudy and funky, but I would with the right amount of tweaking, and it would take a little more time than other things to be able to get it to where it is clear. And it's only a matter of time that those processes will be worked out for this stuff so it can be done. So start learning now, start playing now, because as they have, you're not having to play catch up. And again, and that's like, I'm just blown away with what all can be done. I'm going to go ahead and download that right now. Well, wait, let's see what I want to do here. So I'm going in, let me come back over here to show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, so like when I clicked on it and I clicked customize, and this is the cool thing. So here it is as it sits. Then over here on this side of the screen is where you can start customizing the text, right? Line 1, line 2, so on. It's just this simple, fellas. Okay, it really is. So I'm just absolutely blown away. I'm actually going to save that over there in my little Bamboo Labs thing. I'll pull it all the way up to the top. See, right underneath where I normally go. There we go. So anyways, I can just come back to it and play with it later. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't switch the camera, my bad. But anyway, but yeah, over here. Okay, so I clicked in, I opened it up, and then over here in this panel, which again, it's right there. And then you can go in to start customizing all of the stuff. There we go. So there we go. So now I'll just generate that and it'll do its thing, maybe, possibly. Come on, work with me. There it goes. Generate, 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 generate. And there it is. See? Just like that. Ta-da! And then, of course, I can download it and then print it. And there we go. There we go. And I do believe inside of all these things up in here, you should be able to do the font colors. Yeah, there's the color settings. So you can adjust your colors that you want to print these things in. Dark red, the white, the gold. And then you'll set, it's not hard. And again, when people are so gracious to play and to share, it's just amazing. It just is. And this is the world in which you, did I not? Make sure I showed you. See? But yeah, I apologize. What a sloppy tutorial this morning. But the big thing is I want you to look at it and, dude, I can do that better than that. Good. I want you to. I want you to go do it much better than me. That's important. It's 5 minutes into the 9 o'clock hour. It's Thursday, January the 22nd. I got to get back to everything. It's cold out there, 29 and partly cloudy as we get ready for the winter snowpocalypse of 2026. Or not. Don't know yet. We'll find out. Not naive, just don't know. But we'll play it by ear and see what happens and handle it as we need to. So we're there. We'll have this guy sign off for me. Yeah, again, he's not the greatest for like a stop motion thing. There's not that much movement. But at the same time, he's like, hey, what's up? Yo. Anyway, but again, the potentials, your imagination can be augmented so wonderfully well in this modern era. And what more could you ask for? It's like having like magic Play-Doh. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to play this thing out with today's thumbnailed AI generated song. And gentlemen, have a fantastic day, Lord willing, and things, I don't know, again, I'm in like a state of flux of like things that are happening. So should be here tomorrow at 8 o'clock, have some coffee and chill out in the mornings, wake up, get moving and motivated. But if anything changes, I'll let you know. Gentlemen, have a great day.
Well, the weatherman's grinning like he knows something I don't. Pointing at a cloud with a dramatic little don't. Phone stop buzzing, y'all seen that nap? Blue on the screen means we're taking a nap. Neighbor stacking firewood like it's Fort Knox. Somebody's buying every candle in the box. And I'm just standing in aisle number 4, watching folks fight over bread like it's war. We're stocking up on milk and bread like the storm is gonna read our minds instead. Salt on the steps and prayers on the group text.
Who's got change? We'll see what's next.
But hey, take a breath, don't you worry, don't you squirm. We've been through these modern day ice storms. Yeah, it's slick and it's cold and it's loud on the phone, but it's gonna be okay, honey, we'll be home. There's a cart full of batteries, 2 cases of beans. beans, and a man buying shovels like he's building machines. Someone's got a generator, someone's got a plan, someone's got 12 gallons, no one knows why, man. Every road becomes a legend by the end of the day. Bridges are inked, take the long, long way, and we all act shocked like we just can't believe winter showed up in winter, what a twist to receive. Oh, we're stocking up on milk and bread like the storm is gonna read our minds instead. Salt on the steps and prayers on the group text.
Who's got chain? We'll see what's next.
But hey, take a breath, don't you worry, don't you squirm. We've been through these modern day ice storms. Yeah, it's slick and it's cold and it's loud on the phone, but it's gonna be okay, honey, we'll be home. Put the soup on, pull the blanket up, laugh a little, fill your favorite cup. Check on your people, take it slow, let the trucks do their salty tango. And if you gotta slide, slide with style, white knuckle grin and a stubborn smile. Yeah, we're stocking up on milk and bread, cause tradition is tradition in our anxious little heads. Plans on the fridge and memes in the chat, forecast looking fierce in a knitted hat. But hey, take a breath, don't you worry, don't you squirm. We've been through these modern day ice storms, so stay warm, stay calm, let the panic be gone, it's gonna be okay. We'll laugh about it come the dawn. Roads get shiny.